Well, good morning, friends, wherever you are listening to us or watching us on YouTube or Facebook. Good morning. Welcome to the Vintage Talk Show with the Fudge. We're starting bright and early today. We must continue to apologize for a short trail of apologies and late coming. But today is a nice day. It's a nice, lovely day. The 17th day of August, 2024. Well, I'm your anchor for today. My name is Femi Akintunde-Johnson. My friends call me Fudge. And while we wait for my crew, so to speak, I'm happy to have in the studio our delectable AC Fair, Arogundade. Good morning, AC Fair.
Good morning to everybody. Welcome to this food day. Enjoy with us today as we give you a very lovely day.
Yes, enjoy with us. You'll soon see our face, especially those on Facebook. And we'll kick off. Alex hopefully will join us shortly and we expect Boston. But Baba Talks is on the leave of absence today. But we'll keep it going. Well, we have issues to discuss on talking points. We'll be talking about one of the most notorious troublers of Nigeria, which ought to be our blessed. You guess what? Well, by 8 o'clock, you'll meet our guest, and they will judge over that. We hope to have Let's Rewind also. We've been shifting. 3 attempts since July. Hopefully, we'll get it done today. So let's kick off with what our elders, words from our ancestors. And I quote: "The earth is a beehive. We all enter by the same door." You know what's a beehive? A box filled with bees, stingy bees, and of course the lovely sweet honey and honeycomb. Well, it's it's a tough world. It's ipso facto, all kinds of ups and downs, all that and all. But we come through anyway. We all have to come through the same door, and most likely we lead through the same. So while at it, do your best and leave the hive a little bit better for those behind you. Well, as for us here on the Vintage Talk Show, we continue to speak truth to power and shine light on dark spots. We also have what we call our appetizers. With Nigerian entertainment news, we'll give our takes and global trends, and then reviews of major newspaper headlines. That will come your way shortly. Well, we'll start with the entertainment news by AC Fair. Are you ready, AC Fair?
Yes, I am ready.
Okay, just give me a nanosecond. Okay, AC Fair. Shoot.
New generation of actors didn't suffer what we experienced.
Hmm.
Ngozi Nwosu. Veteran Nollywood actress Ngozi Nwosu has said that the new generation of Nollywood actors did not endure the same hardships that actors of our generation faced. In a recent chat, she revealed, "It was tough for all of us, even though I understand that the new generation of actors are enjoying. They never endured half of what we went through. We
Mm.
are the pioneers, we have paved the way for you to follow. Nwosu also emphasized the importance of having a passion for acting, stating that without passion, individuals will be discouraged by challenges. I quote, even though this profession has become more accessible, we still need people who are skilled. The industry has become a place where people use what they have to get what they want. If you don't have a passion for acting, even a single challenge can derail you. If you are passionate about it, no matter the difficulties, there is hope. Additionally, the actress mentioned that it took a long time for people to realize that she's actually Igbo. She said, I am actually Igbo. At
Are
one
you
point,
saying Igbo or Igbo? Is it not Igbo? Don't let them fight you. Is this okay? Sorry to break you.
at one point, people were surprised how I could speak Yoruba despite being Igbo. They would ask if that my parents are Yorubas, and I would explain that both my mother and father are Igbo.
Okay, good. Igbo. It sounds too Yoruba-ish for you. I mean, I think they like it as Igbo. Um, yeah, well, some coded message there from Ngozi Nwosu. Interesting woman. She speaks Yoruba fluently, and she's one of our most iconic role was playing Peace in Amaka Igwe's
Fuji House of Commotion.
Fuji House
Fuji
of
House of
Commotion.
Commotion.
It was fantastic. Uh, Behind my voice, you could hear the voice of Alex. He just woken up to join us. Good morning, Alex.
Good morning, sir.
Good to see you. Good to see you and hear your voice
Yeah.
this lovely morning. We are just starting off. Thanks for showing up. Okay, Esife.
YouTube removes Davido's wedding hit Ogechi remix over copyright. The
Hmm.
highly anticipated wedding song Ogechi remix by Nigerian Afrobeat artist Davido has been taken down from YouTube due to copyright issues. The song was performed live on 25th June at Davido's extravagant wedding to Chioma. The remix, which featured Boy P, Brown Joel, and Icy, gained rapid popularity among fans following its release. The music video was subsequently uploaded on 19th July. However, YouTube recently removed the video due to a copyright claim. Although the video is no longer available, the audio can still be found on Boy P's official YouTube page. It appears that the video is not recognized as the official artist for the song on YouTube. An imagine video on the internet indicated that the original version of Ogechi was created by a different artist prior to the remix. Internet reports claimed Ogechi was originally produced by Brown Joel, Boy P, and Ice.
So, I mean, that's probably the reason they didn't remove it from Boy P's official YouTube page. But really, it's a the original makers of the songs are on the song, on the new song. You know, I don't know what they was claiming it. Maybe they, I don't know. It's called Ogechi Remix, not Ogechi. And the young, I understand it was quite popular, especially song artist wedding. Well, I'm sure they will find a way of regularizing that. Okay, let's move on.
Jimmy Odukoya opens up on personal struggles after mother's death. Actor turned pastor Jimmy Odukoya recently shared his emotional struggle with faith and personal grief following the sudden death of his mother, Pastor Bimbo Odukoya, in 2005. In an episode of the Truth Table podcast, hosted by his sister, Pastor Tolu Odukoya, Jimmy revealed how his mother's unexpected passing deeply impacted his faith in God. He explained, the difference between when mom died and when dad died was that with mom, it was very sudden and no one saw it coming. I think that my biggest fear in life at the time was losing a member of my family, and mom was the most important woman in my life.
Hmm.
Jimmy highlighted that his journey through grief brought him to a crossroads where he would either face his pain head on or abandon his faith. Ultimately, he decided to confront his pain rather than walk away from his faith.
Hmm. Good for him. Good for him. It's To be an orphan is not easy,
Mm.
especially at a fairly young age. Well, I lost my dad at 16, pretty young. I didn't understand the world then. Lost my mom at a hefty 35. So I'm a full blown orphan for many for many years. So but I know how it feels, especially if you have a very close relationship. Mother, mother is something else. Okay, but we thank God he made it through, and now he could help others in the same situation. Okay.
No smoking. Paul Okoye leads contemporary artist. Paul Okoye, also known as Rude Boy, has revealed the strict criteria he has established record label, Fire Department Operating. During the live video, Paul discussed the high cost of promoting an artist and shared the requirements for signing new artists to his label. He stated that any artist caught smoking weed would face a 10. His words, people believe they are bigger than the record label, so I demand now. You must bring landed properties and your parents. The day I catch you smoking anything as my artist, 10 million naira. That's why if you keep asking me when I'm going, I will tell you I do not know. Rude Boy incorporated in 2019 following the break of twin brother Peter. Although they briefly reunited in November
Hmm.
2021, their reconciliation was short.
Hmm. Uh, well, the guy he has fronted his argument. If he sees you smoke, and coming from a rude boy, that sounds encouraging. If he sees you smoke, any kind of smoke is 10 million business. One puff, 1 million.
Uh,
And
but
then
you know what they
the
say
man artist in
about
Nigeria,
artists. Yeah.
eh? You have to bring property, different kinds of properties and all that, and then put. There's a possible fine of 10 million if you just miscarry yourself and rude boy. I hope that he's settled with his the brother. Embarrassment of what they are saying online and all that. Issue. It's just so sad. It's so sad. Well, good for him. Fire Brigade, or what do you call it? Is Fire Incorporated. Oh God,
Fire Department.
Fire Department. Yeah, yeah. Interesting. Okay, let's move on.
Yomi Fabiyi calls for protest on Mohbad's death anniversary.
Hmm.
The death anniversary of the late Nigerian music star Ileri Oluwaloba, popularly known as Mohbad, is less than a month away. Nigerian actor and activist Yomi Fabiyi has called for a protest on the fourth anniversary of his death.
Hmm.
Fabiyi made the call in a post on his Instagram page, urging Nigerians to attend the next court session of the coroner's inquest. He also proposed that protests should be organized towards the fourth anniversary of Mohbad's death to further press for justice if no progress is made in the next sitting.
Hmm.
He wrote, "Let's peacefully storm the court and attend the next coroner's inquest and protest to register our demands on this case. If nothing tangible is seen or heard, we focus on the day of the 1 year anniversary." Meanwhile,
Wow.
the family of the late Mohbad have asked his fans not to organize any activities
Hmm.
commemorating his anniversary. On
Hmm.
Tuesday, 14th August, Monisola, a member of the Aloba family's legal team, requested that the family be allowed to grieve privately without the added burden of an elaborate event. She further
Hmm.
mentioned, "The Aloba family wishes to appeal to such interest groups to suspend such ideas for the following reason. The late singer is yet to be buried. As such, the family would
Okay.
wish the public to join them in prayers for his
Wow.
anniversary
Wow.
rather than organizing elaborate events that will affect their emotions."
Wow. 1 year after.
Uh,
Hmm.
Wow. Wow. Something else.
You
Lady Olua.
mean he hasn't been buried?
Yeah, there's still contention about the autopsy, about the forensic they're done somewhere and all that. That's still they're having a coronal injunction. I mean, hearing again, which presupposes that they have not done the final results. about the cause of death. It's so tragic, and both sides have a point. Fans may want to mark his passage, and family will want to grieve privately, and and then they probably don't want reminders again of what has happened and all that, and all the other adjuncts problems. Wahala had not made it any easier on his loved one. But anyway, we continue to wish the family grace and favor and some kind of serenity to deal with this and have a closure. And on that note, we close with a first entertainment gist for us this morning. We'll take a short break and come back with global trends. I'm sure Alex is ready for us. DJ Spinner and Tenny. I want to pray for us this morning. I hope it's called Psalm 23. I suspect that that's some kind of prayer there. Eh,
Oh dear. I
do you have any problem?
No, it's the network. It's fluctuating.
Okay. Well, you appear stable from here.
Okay. I thought Bosu was joining us.
Yeah, it normally comes around 7:30 or thereabout.
Okay. Okay.
It's vacation in overseas. That's why I
Yeah.
couldn't make it last time.
Okay, he's back from the UK.
No, it's not. But
Okay.
it will be able to join us today.
All right. That's great. I was eventually able to reach Yakubu, but he told me you had reached him already.
Yeah, yeah,
Uh,
yeah. I sent you updates about my contact with him, and we had
okay,
a test run yesterday, so everything looks good.
great, great.
Okay, I'm launching you now.
Okay.
We're back, and this is still the Vintage Talk Show. And we are going with Alex Ogundadigbe on global trends. Alex, you ready for us?
Yes, I am. So, on global trends this morning, we're beginning with a story from the Ukraine. The title is Ukrainian Advance Prompts US Dilemma. Ukraine is increasing its footprint in Russia's Kursk region, although its advances have started to slow now that the surprise effect has subsided. Meanwhile, US officials are still assessing the impact of the assault on the future of the war and on the extent of the role they can play in it without risking escalation with Moscow. Also, Ukraine has destroyed a strategically important bridge over the River Seine as it continues its incursion into Russia's Kursk region. Wow.
Hmm. That, that's a bold strategy.
It
If they can
is.
invade my country, why can't I invade their own too?
And,
No, they are
someone
very small,
said,
you know.
yeah, attack sometimes is the best method of defense.
Yeah, attack is that's what we say in football. Attack is the best form of defense. Yeah.
Um,
Okay.
all right. Next, we're going to the West Bank, and it says in the West Bank, dozens of Israeli settlers have set fire to a Palestinian village, with the Palestinian Health Ministry saying at least one person has been killed. Footage shows houses and cars being torched at nighttime.
Wow. Wow. It's gotten to the civilian population now. Uh,
Mm,
that's really bad.
it is. Mm.
That's really bad. It's
And it doesn't look good at all. We monitored last week that the Israeli army made incursions into
mm-hmm.
Lebanon
Yeah.
because of Hamas. They discovered that some Hamas people were
Sets
running into
there.
Lebanon. Yeah, we just hope it doesn't escalate into a bigger thing.
Full blown war.
Yeah.
Oh, well,
All right. Next, we're going to Asia. The title of the story is Political Dynasty, and it says Thailand's parliament has picked 37-year-old Patagontam Shinawatra as prime minister. The daughter of billionaire tycoon and former leader Thaksin, she's the fourth member of the family in the post.
wow.
So they
That's
have a
really
political dynasty.
reality.
It's becoming more like
Yeah, that's nice.
a monarchy than a,
That's yes. Hmm. Good for them.
hmm.
Okay.
Next, we're
If it's
going
cheap.
to the United Kingdom, and the title of
Hmm.
the story is Contaminated Blood. And it says the UK government has announced it will push ahead with compensation payments to victims of the infected blood scandal, during which more than 30,000 people were infected with
Wow.
HIV and hepatitis C between
Wow.
1970 and 1991.
Wow. How do you compensate for that? That kind of
Uh,
tragedy, that kind of mass tragedy.
wow.
30,000 people. There you can imagine the escalation. So friends, families, and all that. Hmm?
Yeah.
Over
So
20 years. Wow.
unfortunate.
That's terrible. That's terrible. Hmm.
All right.
By the
Next, we're
way,
going to the United States. The title of the story is Sleepless in Detroit. A U.S. judge has been temporarily taken off the bench after he forced a 15-year-old to wear handcuffs and a jail uniform because she appeared to fall asleep during a field trip to his court.
oh my, oh my. The judge just woke up on the wrong side of the bed that morning. I was just angry. Why are you sleeping? I didn't catch a glint, and you are sleeping in my court and in handcuff. I mean,
But for a
just
15-year-old, that's a bit harsh.
just high-handedness.
Yeah.
Maybe just trying to be dramatic or just playing, play as they say they play, and then it became serious. You know, it's
Uh,
it's it's not a good optic at all. Hmm.
All right, next we're going to the Netherlands. It says going to the wire. Dutch football club Ajax Amsterdam beat Greece's Panathinaikos 13-12 on penalties after an epic 25-minute shootout to reach the Europa League qualifying playoff round.
You know, that's like saying this is 13 plus 12, 25. Maybe they miss another five. I mean, they scored 25. They missed maybe like five or so. So we're talking about 30 plus shots in one match.
Yeah, amazing. And 25 goals in all in a
You know what I mean?
25-minute shootout. That means one goal every minute. One goal every minute for the
That's
25
not
minutes.
counting the one that was missed though, or the ones missed. Oh
Yeah,
man, it's
amazing.
it's it's
All
very
right.
historic for them. Okay, and
Finally,
lastly,
yeah,
okay.
uh, not Bollywood. We're going to India. It says protests have intensified in Kolkata city, India, after a mob vandalized a hospital where a female trainee doctor was raped and murdered.
Hmm. That's
Oh dear.
bad. That's so sad. That's so
Mm.
sad.
Definitely not Bollywood. This is
Yeah,
reality.
it's reality. Yeah,
Uh,
and everywhere in the world, women are becoming more vulnerable, more open to attack from sick-minded people. How do
yeah.
you how do you waste some level of brain power? The country where you need health services and all that, and they are killing. And it's everywhere in the world. Madness is just everywhere in the world. Ah, well,
So
that on savory note, on that bad note, we close global trends this morning. Thank you, Alex. We'll be back shortly. Let's take a break and come back with the reviews of newspaper headlines, cover headline stories. Do do care by Simi. I love this song. Oh. Let me see if I can rouse Bosu. If we were in US, it'd probably be around 12 o'clock now. Be 1 a.m.
it depends on which part of the US. You know, you have about 3 or 4 time zones.
Yes, yes. 7, 6, 5. I hope it's I hope it's not 5, because that it's be difficult to wake up now. Um, Alex, you have so much headroom. Please adjust your video better.
Mr. T couldn't join us.
Yes, he has some flu or so.
Oh
So
dear.
he's not in the right place now.
Oh dear.
Mhm. I hope you are ready for Yakubu. I told you
Ah,
you are leading the field this morning.
yeah, you said so. Well, I could do. I'm sure we
You try.
could. Yeah.
We pull. Okay. Okay. This presidential jet seizure is It's a very terrible thing. Oh.
Okay, I must say I'm not up to date. Where did that happen?
Ogun State had some problem with some Chinese company, and they went abroad to claim damages and all that. And the court granted them any Nigerian state asset, they should confiscate it. So the jets were being flown to be flown to Nigeria for the presidency, and they seized they seized two of them. You know, I understand they released one later.
What an embarrassment.
Oh, God. They said they returned one when the president needed to travel or something. Some very funny, crazy, embarrassing situation like that.
Oh dear.
That's the lead of Punch. So that's what reminded me. Uh, okay, I'm back. I'm going on air with you.
Okay.
And this 1 million monthly jumbo pay for Senate. The Nigerians are crazy, man. This RMF, whatever they call themselves, they don't live in this country. Anyway, we go online on live now. Yes, we're back, and this is still the Vintage Talk Show with the Fad. And I'm with Alex Ogundadebe. Hopefully, the Bosun will join us. We'll start with Saturday Punch and Elites with this week's hot pepper soup story. Now, it looks like something from from cartoon. From you, Alex. Remember what was that Wale Adenuga's piece? Ikebe Super.
Yeah.
Were it not a very serious international disengagement, I should say, it would be something to laugh about. But it's so sad. Well, the Punch leads with a story. Seized presidential jets. Note that I say jets, so plural. It's not jets. Jets. Nigerian policemen detained, brutalized our top officials, alleges Chinese firm. Police deny involvement as that's Ogun State, declines comment. The background story is the fact that despite our naivety, that because the country is going through a very parlous state and all that, the idea of buying new presidential jets will not be accommodated or tolerated. Uh, and the government went ahead and they bought this stuff. Apparently, what they have in the fleet is so bad that they could not risk the life of the president. You know, understandably, so they have to purchase this thing, billions of naira, by the way. And then there's some kind of contractual agreement arrangement between Ogun State and some Chinese company, and then infractions, problems, and all that stuff. Payments could not be effected and all that. And then went to a court in United States that gave them the authorities, United States or UK, I can't remember which one, that gave them the authority to seize in lieu of their payment any property or asset of the federal government of Nigeria. And by some stroke of luck, the jet was passing by that area.
Oh dear.
And the wily Chinese, they just took the jets and said, you pay, we give you. If you don't pay, don't. Oh man. You know, it's not Nigeria that owe them, it's Ogun State. But you say you gotta pay. Oh, Nigeria, it's like a drama, like a macabre drama, very sick drama. What?
Mm.
What?
So embarrassing. And but my hesitation, what I feel strange about the fact that Ogun State has not really made any statement about it. They
No, they
haven't.
did. They did. they wrote a letter to the public, to Nigerians to apologize for the embarrassment brought upon the presidency, upon the Nigerian government, and that they will make effort to vary this injunction. I think they want to appeal it or something. You know, uh, I think the governor should make haste, pay what he owes, and wait, being in a very undemocratic environment, it will have been tit for tat. They'll just be closing down some Chinese companies, seizing their property here too,
Yeah.
and all that, and they'll be doing tit for tat and all that, you know. But it's quite embarrassing. Whichever way you spin it,
It
it's
is.
not good.
It doesn't look
Not
good
good.
at all.
One more story. There's this story about the jumbo pay. I think I should go to um in the to the new no the where did I see that story? Okay, Vanguard. Vanguard leads with the main story: 21 million jumbo allowances. Federal lawmakers should be prosecuted. They are quoting Nigerians. They say
Mm.
the allowances are scandalous. They are insensitive to the hardship in Nigeria. No positive impact of their laws on lives of ordinary people. Those are the lamentations of Nigerians. Man,
Mm.
uh, I think the Bosun has come at a nice time. You know, we're talking about jumbo pay. Good morning, Bosun.
Good morning, Uncle Fudge. Good morning,
I
Mr.
can see,
Alex.
Good
I can
morning.
see you
Is
are
it really morning in that part of the world?
what's your time over there?
It's the UK. Same time.
Oh,
Okay.
okay, okay, okay.
Yeah.
Please clear your face. We're in the same region. You know, we're just talking about the 21 million jumbo allowances given to, one of the senators squealed. Is it squeal? Maybe it's the prayer of Nigerians that made him to misspeak. You know, and he revealed that beyond the 1 or 2 million they receive as basic and all that, they also receive 21 million monthly to run their offices. It looks like fable. Is it true? Can that be real?
It's
21 million
very real.
96 people.
It's very
And
real,
three,
but quite unfortunate.
Hmm.
wow.
The same
Wow.
people were the ones pegging minimum wage at 70,000 naira. So it's
Yeah.
a pure case of some animals are more equal than some.
Than others. It's so tragic. No? Oh,
The former president, President Obasanjo, actually accused them of fixing their own wage. And there was a whole lot of controversy over that. I'm sure you followed it.
I, don't- I
They
don't
spoke, they
I
spoke
don't
about the wage commission being responsible for fixing it. But they have a hand in those things, you know?
when Baba talks, I usually don't hear, you know, because Baba started this thing. Baba could have laid a better foundation for what we are going through now. No, so
Yeah.
either he's writing letters or he's making speeches. Baba is not. It's not getting me. It's not. It's not. And
I,
he
I,
had time and time again to make something better, to lay a better foundation, and here we are talking about the same thing. Baba should. Baba is not getting me. It's let me be civil to
I,
old age. Baba is not just. I'm not getting Baba. And we're not getting each other. So no
I,
comment about Baba at all.
I can
For me,
see
I'm not to do
I
whatever
can
he
see
likes.
you struggling between not wanting to disrespect him and at the same
Yeah,
time feeling disappointed.
no, no, I'm disappointed. But the Bible says, "Be angry, but do not sin." Anything
Yeah,
further would be sinning, you know. But Baba, we're not on the same. We're not on the same flight. Yeah, no.
yeah.
Um,
But it's
okay, let's.
insane the amount of money that we're talking about.
Yes, that is also tragic, you know, and unusually. Akpabio has been very speechless, very quiet. You know, normally we'll have thrown one banter that will annoy everybody or that will make some people laugh and all that. But it's very quiet. Okay. Let's go to this day. Some serious. Those ones they don't know Saturday or Sunday. They just go on their business. They lead with this story. Chinese firm releases one of three presidential jets in dispute with Ogun State. It's even three jets we bought at once. Hey, Niger. Hey, too much money
But
and then
what
too
were
much
we
suffering.
doing with three presidential jets at once in China?
I think I
No,
learned they went for checks. You know, they always have this C checks, B check, and A checks.
are they
And
not new jets? Are they old
they,
jets?
they went all the way to China for a C check.
I know checks are done in South Africa.
No, I don't think the seizure was in China. I think it was. I mean, the Chinese people they can seize your good anywhere. You remember the story we used to read about them having police stations in Europe and all. Those ones, they don't have boundaries, so they can arrest
No,
you anywhere.
but funny enough, Uncle Fudge, they have there's this international jurisdiction with regards
Yes,
to things like that. And in fact, what we should be asking is why seize a federal government property for a state loan? I mean, it's for a state-owned loan. But sometimes I realize that the federal most times for states to obtain loans, they
the,
always
the
need some
government
form of guarantee
guarantee.
by the
Yeah,
federal government.
Yeah,
So I
that's
think
right.
this was what happened. So they got a judgment and they attach these properties and chattel to the judgment. That's why it's happened like this. But I don't think it's in China. I think it's somewhere in Europe or so.
yeah. I
That's
think
the
it was in Europe. You're right.
Mm.
Let's take one more piece from this day and then move on. It says Riwane. After protests, federal government responding quickly to negative economic developments. That's nice. Says government making changes where necessary. And Rwanda is not usually flippant. So we'll take it, they can see what we don't see until Marcel Okeke shows up to redirect us. Uh, I think we should get him sometime soon to see if we are making progress.
but there's
Uh,
been some adjustment in price of commodities.
is that so?
Yes, yes.
Because I read a piece that said tomato moved from 15 or something to from 150 to 15 or 25 or something
No,
like that.
from 85 to 30.
So I rushed to market, and that was it's like a little bit more, but it's not that system. I mean, seismic move. That volcanic. Downgrade. Ah, it was like what used to be like 1,000 is now maybe like 500. Or 750. You know. But I was hoping that if I take 1,000, I will buy what we used to buy 5,000. It wasn't like that.
I think
And
I
then the
think
next day,
the final retailers too. You know, Nigerians we are very funny. We have
yes,
ways
those
of
ones.
coming up with things. Like you now
Those
say old stock, this is old stock, so you want to finish it.
Mm,
But immediately
mm,
something increases, you forget about old stock and you go with the new price.
that come.
So it's a typical Nigerian factor.
Mm.
Mm.
There has to be a way to synthesize the people who sell by retail because if you do a lot of analysis, you find that a lot of the prices they put on their commodities are just invented by them. They
Mhm.
just want to make some extra money at the end of the day. We're
Okay.
not saying the
Let, let me
commodities are not expensive, but I mean, not to the
let me give
level
you a
that we,
scenario.
yeah.
Let me give you a scenario to buttress your point. I mean, a lady was telling us the other day that you will buy a certain product at very exorbitant price. Let's say you ought to buy it like maybe 25,000. You get there, it's like 85 or 105. And I was crying. How can you sell it? I bought this 2 weeks ago. And so. or 3 weeks ago, and so. Why is it so expensive? So the guy gave me a lowdown. Said, come on the day the trucks land in the market. If you come on the day the trucks land in the market, you probably will get it at that 30, 25, 30,000. But immediately they unload and the middlemen carry the thing and then they do it to the wholesalers and all that. The thing will jump like madness from that 40 to like 100 plus. So
Wow.
now they have to devise ways. Please, this is my number. Immediately the truck lands, call. So if you're in a party or you are in the, on the Zoom meeting and you come see, they have made Nigeria so hustling that you have to drop everything and you rush the market. Hopefully you get there before the thing will take a hike. It's bad.
Oh dear.
What we're doing to
Dear.
ourselves, bad. Very, very, very bad. And then we blame government. Is that president's problem? Is that the governor's problem?
But
We're
we
dealing
have a
with that.
price control agency. What are they doing?
Do we?
Yes,
Do
we
we?
do.
I remember
The
the president saying he wasn't going to.
the appointment Tunji Bello got, it's in that direction. Consumer Protection and Pricing Regulatory Agency.
I see. Because I remember the president saying it earlier during his anniversary speech that they would want to bring up a price control system into play because of free market mechanism and all that. What
But
if you do have that?
with this crisis that the middlemen create, there's no way. If government is
There's no
serious and
way.
wants to help the
We need
people,
something like
you
that.
have to step in.
We need something like that. It's sad. Oh, well, let's see. Saturday Sun before we move on to talking point. War brews over constitution. That's the lead of Saturday Sun. Middle belt. South team up for new one. North opposes idea. Then lawyers say referendum will address agitations for secession. Others. We have come with this new constitution festival. We're always looking for. I mean, the amendments they have made in the past 25 years can't be less than 50 on the constitution. It's still not good. And I remember Bosun saying the problem is not the constitution. But apparently a lot of people in the South and Middle Belt feel that the constitution should be changed, made people oriented. Let it be formed by people, Constitutional Assembly of People of Nigeria. While the North, they claim the North say that they're opposing the idea. They're cool with what we have now. But so what's your take on this?
Coincidentally, a few days ago, I was in a cab here, and one Nigerian guy, I can't remember his name now, but is of the Eastern extraction. So he was talking about how defective our constitution is, and he said that Abdul Salami wrote constitution in London and gave it to us, and he said we the people. I said, see, it's not a function of one person writing it. Even in the 1979 constitution that was written by the 12 wise men was largely written by one man. And if you look at what is in the 1979 constitution, it's not different from the 1999 constitution. Just one or two, a slight adjustments here and there. So he went on about the fact that people didn't participate. I said, see, forget about participation. There's a spirit of constitution. We have neglected it. So even if they change it, if we do not change our outlook to life, it will still be the same story. Then you call for another one and another one and another one. So it's life. That's why the Constitution provides for amendment. You can amend the Constitution, you can adjust areas where things are not going well. When it comes to sharing money, the same people who complain, when they share money from this same Constitution, they don't complain. Then when they want to start their political madness, then they come and start telling you how bad and defective the Constitution is. What is wrong with the Constitution? If we had participated, would we have come up with something different from this? Look, sir, if you look at the 79 and 99, there's almost no difference. It is. So the 79 was done by the people. Or except you
Mm.
claim that the military brought those ones too in. So it's not a function of the constitution. It's about a people sitting down and deciding to be sincere and working in harmony to make sure that the country moves forward. We just talked about middlemen. This middlemen is composed of different tribes, but they have a common interest to make sure that the people suffer and they make um, some crazy gains out of their thing. They don't think tribe, they don't think all those things then when it comes to their common gain. So it's the kind of people we are. It's not a function of the constitution. The constitution has not said they should kill us or make us economically invalid. No, the constitution is there to set things right. But as long as you have bad enforcers, the best of constitutions will not work in the same climate.
Well, let's move on
Guys,
to less headachy kind of a problem. In the cover, in the cover of the Nation, that's an interesting story, very sad one. It says U.S. court slams 3 life sentences, 76 years imprisonment on Nigerian accused of rape. And I show the picture of him supposedly with a white lady. Uh, Looks
oh my
Asian.
God.
Uh, 76 years, 3 consecutive life sentences. I don't even know. I don't know. I don't know.
The guy's
I don't,
gonna, if nothing's done, he's gonna die in prison.
Obviously.
I mean, the guy looks like he's in his 30s.
Mm.
Even if he has the grace of God, he has long life and good health.
When it
Eh,
comes out, it's not
eh,
gonna be useful for himself or the society.
because of a 5 minute error, you know. And some of
Yeah.
these things, I don't know.
I,
You don't
I, I
know.
hope I haven't seen the
Yes,
story. I just hope it
sorry,
was
yes. So one
thoroughly
cannot
investigated
really,
and
you
it was
know,
proven. Yeah,
you don't know who's right, who's wrong. If he's guilty, it's well deserved. If it's
I know
a setup, ah,
they do a lot
may
of
God have mercy.
investigations, forensics. They do rape kits. They do DNA. They do
Yeah,
all
but all
those
these things,
things.
you hear people come out 4 years, 5 years, 15 years, 25 years
Mm.
after the jail term served. I say, I apologize. Sorry, it was an error, or it was some kind of trip, or it was drunk. The person, you know,
Hmm.
especially to celebrities like footballers and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Remember the Mandy footballer that was
Yeah, Man
accused,
City.
guy, they destroyed his career. You know, and nothing happened to the alleged victim or the supposed victim, and they could not prove it,
Mm.
but
I,
somehow
I,
just
I I think that thing they can stem it by actually going after those who make all these false claims. Because a lot of times they just allow them to walk away like that. The society will tell you that. I mean, but what I feel really is the moment you start going after, if you've made someone go through the trauma of trial and then coming out, and at the end of the day, you come and say this was a lie, then that same person should be made to maybe face some jail time herself or himself, whoever made the false claim. So when that happens, I think people will kind of like move back and think about
yeah.
it before they come and say things. You can't waste someone's life for 20 years. Even take a year out of a man's life. Some people will
Mm,
come back, then the experience in the prison, the person will never remain the same. Then you come back and
yeah,
say it was false accusation. And then they allow
yeah,
you to go like that. No, no. Something
you're
should
Exactly.
right.
be done.
And
You're right.
there are a lot of fault lines too. Fault lines in the sense that I don't mean to sound racist, but if a black man is accused of raping a white woman, my God, you
His
know,
chances of are very
it,
slim.
it would take the grace of God for them to really do a thorough investigation before
Yeah,
they start looking at the man as being guilty. Immediately,
Only God.
they will start concluding that he must be guilty, you know, even without investigations.
Especially
So
if
there
you
are a
have
lot
this shaggy hair. If you have this shaggy hair and wear earrings and all that, so you're already guilty as charged.
oh
There's
my God.
No,
No,
especially if you are successful. If the black
yes.
man is successful, he's gone.
If you are successful, you are a threat and a
in fact,
trouble.
the media will tell you you're guilty first. Then they will now
This
start the investigation.
this Tribune made a headline. I'm just saying it as a comic relief. It's not nothing to dwell on. It says Chinese firm releases one presidential jet for Tinubu's meeting with French president.
Oh my God. You can see how they are. Oh,
Look at what they have taught us to. Yes, I want
But,
to go and see president.
but
they
Uncle Fat, you
ridiculous.
remember, I don't know, when we started this Chinese deal, there were a lot of warnings everywhere that Chinese
Yeah,
are not, they don't play with money. That
The
yeah.
thing
you
is,
that you don't go and toy with them. But people just felt it at that point. It looked like some freebies, free Sarah loan, and everybody started going for the Chinese money. I think now we are wiser.
you know what our saving grace is? Our saving grace is we have oil, right? Now, if you look at the other countries in Africa, Eritrea, Kenya, the Chinese have concessioned national assets because of debts in those countries. In Kenya, for instance, you have the biggest ports in East Africa in a city called Mombasa. The Chinese concessioned that port when the Kenyans were unable to pay up their loans.
Well, gentlemen, we have to take a break now. Our guest is in the house, so we will need to. I just want to read one or two headlines without comment so that we can wrap up this section. Sunday Times says 90 billion Hajj fraud allegation. More arrest as EFCC grants Narcon boss bail after 3 nights to report for interrogation every Monday. I thought the man said that there was no 90 billion, didn't give any money. Anyway, they're looking for it. Leadership weekend. Leadership weekends leads with bandit leaders enforce peace in quote, in Zamfara villages. Allow villagers access to farms, they stop levies, they defend affected areas against rivals' attack. Residents recount experiences on coexistence. Police admit decrease in attacks. So there's a diarchy going on in Zamfara state. There's a federal government regime and a bandits regime. They're running side by side.
Oh my God.
This thing you're laughing is very terrible. The people have given up. So they have submitted to the rule partially
Yeah.
of the bandits. Oh, Nigeria. Well, on
Oh
that note,
God.
we'll take a short break and come back to a talking point. Let's take this break.
Mr. Lawal, how are you, sir? Can you hear me?
Yes, he can
Hello?
hear you now. You went on you went live with your voice. I didn't shut you down. Good morning, Alaji. Hello.
Can you
His
hear us?
microphone is. Oh, you should hear us. Hello. He's trying to talk.
Oh dear, network.
Hello, Yakubu.
Yeah, good morning.
Oh, yes.
Oh,
Thank God.
at
Good
last.
morning. How are you this morning?
I'm fine. Happy
Alex is
weekend.
greeting. Thank you.
Yes, I've responded. Alex, how you doing?
I do. Welcome to the program.
Thank you very much.
Yeah. Your picture is a bit still. I wonder what the cause is. Maybe it's my end.
Yeah, but at least we hear his voice.
Is that my picture?
Okay, it's
It was
better
still,
now.
it was not moving before.
Yeah. I
Okay,
think
okay.
But now you're good.
Okay, we're going to, after the break, we're going to launch you onto the program. We'll introduce you, and then we'll start our questions.
No problem. You said you are going to launch me into the program.
Yeah, that will be after the break. We're on break now.
Okay, how much are you going to launch me with? No problem. No problem. I'm waiting. No. Hmm? Okay.
Oh, we seem to have lost Bosu again. I wonder what's going on.
Alex, I'm here.
No, not you. I was talking about one of our colleagues who was.
Okay.
I can't seem to see his picture anymore.
You mean Bosun?
Yeah.
Yeah, Bosun has dropped off. Someone wrote on the comment section that the plane was seized in France, not South Africa. It was in France.
France. All right. So the Chinese have jurisdiction in France to impound property.
I think it's the international jurisdiction that Bosun was talking about. They can seize it. They have like a universal. How would you call that thing? A fiat to take over.
They'll probably work with Interpol or something.
Yes. Okay, we're coming back to you.
All right.
Okay, we are back. That was Every Day by Nice. Very nice song. Everyday problem or issues to deal with, especially in Nigeria. Today we are dealing with one of those issues. Very, very, how will I call it? Very intrinsic to our livelihood. So we have a right man to talk about it. We'll be talking about issues within the oil and gas sector of Nigeria. Now, our guest is a graduate of economics from Ahmadu Bello University, and He became a journalist quite early. He started with the Punch, uh, and focus on this same issue we're talking about: oil, gas, power, and steel. And then they moved on to Guardian. That about 24 years ago, and then as a senior correspondent. And he left Guardian as the energy editor, beg your pardon, to become uh, what we call special advisor on media and communication to the then Minister of Power, Dr. Larry Babalola. He also did same work for the Minister of State of Power, architect Somo Nuhu Ware. Over the years, uh, the man has worked in the power projects industry. He served with uh, the NDPA, that's Niger Delta Power Holding Company, and left the service as general manager, communication and public relations. Today, he sits on the board of Energy Times, Energy newspaper, publication, as the chairman of editorial board. He's well traveled, covering OPEC conferences, World Petroleum Congress conferences, International Monetary Fund, or the economic recovery in Africa. He has been here and out all over the place. He has served even and the media adversary of the National Electric Power Authority. Uh, and so also his work in the uh, committee for the downstream industry and all and all and all. He's here with us this day to share his esteemed thoughts about the industry with us. Welcome. By the way, he's also the chairman of the Society of Energy Editors in Nigeria. We are talking about Yakubu Itopa Lawal. Good morning, Yakubu.
Good morning, and thanks for having me.
You're welcome to this show. Alex, you have been jumping in the bits to ask him. But let me just set the ball rolling, then you can have your piece. Uh, Yakubu, you've heard a lot about what's going on in the past 2 years or thereabout about uh, the scarcity of fuel, the problems of price hikes, and all that stuff, and the expectation that the coming of Dangote refinery will ease our pains and make us be counted amongst the nations that can produce and refine their own petroleum, especially when they are blessed with it. But it doesn't look as if that pain is going to ease anytime soon. What's your opinion, speaking, about the state we have found ourselves? What did we get wrong? What is wrong with our petroleum supply features and all that? Why are we in this state?
Well, thank you very much. You said the last 2 years. I think the issue of petroleum scarcity in Nigeria is as far back as I started reporting energy in this country. So it's not just 2 years ago. And my take is that Nigeria as a nation, we have not been able to put in place the policies and infrastructures that we deliver fuel to our various stations, as it were. And it involves a lot of factors, really, because you cannot blame it entirely on lack of infrastructure. Because I remember back the NNPC, before they transformed it to NNPCL, had about 21 depots across the country, spanning over 500,000 kilometers of pipeline connecting them. This was meant to ensure smooth distribution of fuel across the country. The fuel from Port Harcourt area, from Lagos area, we have to go through this pipeline. But as we speak today, none of these facilities is functioning because of vandalism. Nigeria, maybe because of our lack of patriotism, everybody want to take their own share from the pipeline. We continue recording breakage of the pipelines and siphoning the fuel before they even graduated into crude oil section. So this has been the problem, and because of that, those facilities were abandoned. So we now have to truck fuel all the way from Lagos into hinterland. And this is logistically, this is a big challenge. So in addition to that, unfortunately, let me say in the last 8 years of President Buhari, none of the 4 refineries were working. So they were all in comatose. A situation which now pull Nigeria into importing, sole importer for our domestic production, consumption. So because of that, of course, importing to meet the vast area of Nigeria is not logistically not something that anybody will take for a ride. So hitches here and there will continue to experience that, and above all, it's like NNPC is the sole importer of fuel into Nigeria. And being the sole importer of fuel into Nigeria, then consumption is increasing, facilities to distribute them are not there. We have to rely on transportation, and of course, you and I know what our roads look like. A truck coming from Lagos going to, for instance, coming to Abuja or Kaduna, you know what the roads are. So these are multiple problems that are militating against what we have today. In a sane country where they plan for their citizens, for instance, the railway should have been effective. The coaches should have been used to move some of these products. And in a country where there's patriotism, we don't have need to break those pipelines, so that somebody who is in Ondo State, for instance, does not need to go to Lagos to go and load. You only go to Ore Depot and load. Somebody from Osun will go to Ore and load. Somebody from Kogi can go to Ore and load. So you don't need to go to Lagos or wait for Benin. So those are the issues that are compounded, and gradually the situation is deteriorating. And as it is deteriorating, nobody is addressing them. So we are now at the mercy of the truckers that are taking this product to various states, and at the same time at the mercy of NNPC that import products into the country. So by and large, I think that those are the crux of the matter as far as I'm concerned.
Wow. Could we talk briefly about the refineries? Day in, day out, we keep getting news that the refinery in Port Harcourt will soon start working. In fact, on this program, we actually reviewed about 12 or 15 different reports across a period of 3 or 4 years, and now seeing that Port Harcourt refinery will soon be on stream. We keep getting that news. Now, beyond Port Harcourt refinery, there's the elephant in the room, the Dangote refinery. What really is happening? There are complaints that they can't get crude, and when they produced, there was also complaints about the quality of the product that they produce. What really is going on with our refineries?
Well, to start with, let me start with the refinery, the NNPC-owned refinery, which Port Harcourt is one. You know that in Port Harcourt we have 2 refineries, combined capacity of 210 barrels per day. That we have the first refinery constructed by Shell It's 60,000 barrels capacity, and the one constructed by the NNPC, 150,000 barrel capacity. Like I stated earlier during my introduction, I did mention that in the last 9 years, none of these refineries operating. They are down. It seems to me that the political class now use the turnaround maintenance of our refinery as a conduit pipe to raise money for their political ambition. If not, how can you imagine you have a plant of that magnitude, you leave it value for almost 8-10 years, and it's not working? You have workers there that you are paying, you are giving them training, you are giving them all sorts of allowances, and you are happy that you are doing it, and they are not serving the interest of Nigeria. Now, we are not talking about the that 5,000 barrels per day. That one is also there, not working. We have the one in Kaduna, 110,000 barrels, is not working. So, coming from this, it's like we now dependent more, because that what gave rise to us depending more on importation than the local refineries. And what we are hearing, because the group general manager of group managing director of NNPC has told us time without number promises that the refinery will come on stream, and up to now it has not come on stream. I know that Buhari released some money, about 1.2 or 1.5 billion dollars for the maintenance. It was not done. So that's why I said it's like the political class now use that avenue as a conduit pipe to siphon money, and because nobody is asking question. If you release money for a project, somebody should ask question: what happened to the money? What are the results? Alex, you can imagine you have a car and you don't use your car for, let's even say, for 6 months. So many things will happen to your car. Then now talk of facility, such a big facility, you leave it idle for almost say 8 years or 9 years. What do you think is going to happen to such facilities? So we are looking for a quick way of solving the problem by relying on importation, and which I think is a shame to this country. Now, because of the psychological trauma this year has given to the country, you realize that when Dangote refinery was to come on board, Nigeria's hope was now on Dangote refinery. Nobody was even talking about NNPC refineries again. And at the time the former president commissioned it, some of us knew that yes, the refinery was commissioned, but cannot commence production at that time because all the necessary Ns and Ts has not been crossed. But when they started, then we started hearing sabotage. First, sabotage from the International Air Company, then of course the NNPC, then before the regulatory agency came on board to also make their. My take is that a lot has been said about this. Because of the trauma, Nigeria found themselves and expecting that the Messiah is going to be Dangote refinery. So when we begin to see these challenges, we seem to have a lot of sympathy in the way of Dangote. And some experts have even spoken, which are in line with my own thought too. In oil and gas industry, if you are doing any business, ensuring proper contract for your business is very, very essential. So the first question I asked in one of the platforms I belong to was, will it be possible that Dangote did not sign a feedstock contract with the identified source of feedstock? Because you're supposed to sign that to ensure that you have 650,000 barrels capacity refinery. For God's sake, you cannot just assume that when you are on stream, you can call on Mr. A, Mr. B to give you crude. No, business in oil and gas is not done that way. I remember in back days when we were in the field, before the financial investment decision was taken on LNG, the then chairman of LNG, Alhaji Ahmed Joda, ensured that all contracts for feedstocks were signed. And of course, the market, the buyers, they also have a firm contract with them before that final investment decision was taken and construction of that project started. What this does, if Dangote has done that, what this does for him now is that, okay, I have a contract in place, because there is always a clause for penalty if you fail either side, either as a supplier or as a receiver. So there is a clause there. If he had a contract with IOCs and they are now reneging on that contract, he can take them off. That's why you see in most cases, when you are operating and you discover that there are certain subsidies along the line, they quickly declare force majeure. Force majeure in the contract is meant to safeguard them from any liability or whatever. Those are based on the fact that what is causing my delay or my inability to meet this obligation is not within me, it's outside me, which is, well taken care of in the contract. So for me, I don't think, because I have not read anywhere where Dangote has said they sign social contracts with so company or so company. So I will blame Dangote Refinery on that. And I believe that even if it's relying on the 445,000 barrels, which NNPC is supposed to allocate for domestic refining for consumption, he ought to have had a signed contract with NNPC in respect of that. That way to, instead of sending this thing abroad to refine and bring back to Nigeria, I'm here. Let me sign a contract with you. Then while I refine it, I can refine it on behalf of NNPC, and that's how we discuss all these cost elements that are sum up to increase the fuel price today will not have been there. So for me, these are the issues that the operators supposed to have addressed. And for the regulatory, Nigeria, we are very funny people. If you are driving, for instance, you are not supposed to park in a place. There are supposed to be signposts to show that you don't park there. But Nigeria will not put that signpost. But an officer with traffic agency will go and hide somewhere, waiting for somebody that will come and park. And at the moment you get that, they swoop on you just to extort money from you. So what I expect from the regulator is not to come and demarket what we have, our own, no matter what it is. For a man to come up and put up a refinery of 650,000 barrels, we must commend him. No businessman in this kind of environment we have today that will venture into that. And also, you also recall that he proved a point to Nigerians that, because it was during Obasanjo's regime, the Port Harcourt refinery was sold to them. But when Yar'Adua came on board, he revoked that sales, which took us back to square one. Perhaps if they had allowed him to continue, the money he has invested, almost $20 billion, if he has used that money to stream the Port Harcourt refinery, will have been better off for it since that time up till now. And of course, we'll have had more improvement on that. So for the regulatory bodies to come to the air and say the market, Dangote, I don't think it's fair. And when I listen to Ahmed Farouk on that, I just said, look, I think the Nigerian Institute of Public Relations need to have a special program for this kind of chief executives so that they know what to say, what not to say, and how to say it. You can't just come out and demarcate. The regulation is meant not only for you to check, but to even advise the operator, okay, do your thing this way, do your thing this way, do it this way. And not just for you to come out and say you have carried out certain tests. So that demarketing, I think, was done in bad faith. Not only to Dangote as a person, but I think Nigeria as a nation, considering the kind of investment that was put there. So these are the issues that I think. Yeah.
Thank you, Yakubu. We'll take a short break and come back to the energy reporting guru, Yakubu Lawal. We'll be back shortly and few more questions before we move on. Here is young John saying currency with Olamide. Take it. So music playing. Excuse me a moment.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're on a short break. We'll be back in a minute.
No problem. We are here. The last time I said we didn't see you at our book launch.
Yeah, these days I am training. I do training, management consultancy. So most days
Okay.
in the week, I'm so busy.
Yeah.
You can't believe throughout this week, right from Tuesday till today, I've not been home.
Wow.
Uh,
Wow.
I train in Lagos and my house is in Otta. So
Oh.
sometimes I stay over instead of moving
Wow.
back and forth every day.
Yeah.
So I didn't even leave the training center. I'm there
Wow.
now. That's where I'm broadcasting
Wow.
from.
Wow. 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 That's a good one.
Uh,
That's a good one. So keep it up.
uh, it's not been easier, but we
I
are.
know. I know. I know. I know. I know. Especially with the kind of climate we operate in. I know.
Yeah.
Mm. Mm. You know, those of us that don't know book, we can't go into training.
So don't say that too. If I have an issue, if I have a topic on energy, I can call you now to come and discuss.
No,
It's your area.
no problem. No problem. I'll come with my little book now. Not be a big one like my own.
Okay, we're going back shortly.
All right.
We've been chatting with veteran journalists and energy reporting guru, public relations consultant, and our longtime friend, Yakubu Lawal. We are still talking about Nigerians' headache, proper oily headache. The issue, I mean, it's titled "Detangling." Uh, Detangling current Nigerian energy crisis and contentions. Lawal, Yakub, my question is about you were around government or reporting government issues, especially as it concerns gas, oil, power, and steel. During the time we supposedly spent 16 billion you know, on our energy issue. And at the end of the day, we are still where we are. Yeah. Two steps forward, like 10 or 12 backwards. We're still short of electricity supply. We are still short of energy supply. We are still short of everything supply. In your days reporting all these things, did you have a sense uh, that we're just there for the money and not for the sake of the country? It- how did that all that $16 billion go just like that? No one is paying for that.
Well, this $16 billion narrative, I think it's an issue that has been haunting everyone because we have these physicians that the moment they mention money, nobody want to listen to the other side of the story. Personally, I think that was said by the late head of state, General Yaradua, was the one that came up with that information. And what I believe he said that time was a accumulation of all the money spent in all the sector or sub-units of the electricity industry, because that amount was related to electricity sector per se. I think one of the aides later came to debunk that amount that time, which I think he even lost his job as a result of that. I don't think at any point in time government spent that amount of money, 16 billion. Yes, there are a lot of investment that went into the sector, and that went into the sector. You know, when Obasanjo came on board, the problem with the power sector then was that most of their generating units or machines were down. So those ones needed to be rehabilitated, and in order to bring up our generation capacity, because at that time we were running as low as 1,500 megawatts in a nation of almost 200 or 100 and something plus millions population then. Then after that, we Obasanjo, before he left office, initiated the NIPP project, which is now being managed by Niger Delta Power Holding Company. And I think during the time they were bidding for the power stations, what was spent on that project was in the neighborhood of 5 billion or 4 billion, which gave birth to about 10 power stations, thermal, several transmission substations and lines, and several distribution injection substations across this country, as well as gas facilities to get gas from production area to the power stations. Those were the component of those, the 4 billion, I think another 4 billion, about 5 billion that was spent on the NIPP project. Then, of course, that time we still have a PACN. So, of course, money were released to them to upgrade their generation, transmission, and before the privatization of the sector. So, I think that even when Batinaji became the minister under Jonathan, there was a roadmap, and there was a roadmap to enhance the capacity of the power sector in terms of generation, in terms of transmission, in terms of distribution. But what I find very interesting or curious is that some experts have explained that in power business, for instance, if your aim is to have 3,000 megawatts generation capacity, the transmission capacity should be above that, maybe something like 4,000 or 5,000, so that you can have a robust wheeling of those power stations, the amount that was generated by you. Then it is also expected that for a distribution company, you have something higher, because this is the facilities that will take power, reduce it to the lower voltage level that will serve the community. But unfortunately, what we have had over the years is, I think we are still battling with 4,000, either 4,000 or 4,005 megawatt generation capacity.
Yeah.
And because of the fragile nature of the system, fragile nature is the sense that we don't have, the capacity is not over and above the generation capacity. If you try to run what you have, say you want to run 4,000 megawatts consistently, the system will break down. And that's a situation where we continue to have system collapse, system disturbances here and there. Of course, also, we should not even forget about the fact that while we are doing this, those vandals are also at work. You recall that recently there was a major vandalization of a major line to the northeast through Gombe. And you imagine what that means. That means going to put the whole region in darkness. And of course, I think last week I was also reading in the papers that the Enegua Ohada line also were vandalized. And that means power will not go into that. So because we don't have this robust infrastructure in place, then we are unable at times to backfeed. Because ordinarily, if we have a robust infrastructure in place, if there's a problem in point A, you should be able to backfeed through point B. I remember in those days, as a young reporter, the moment there's a problem in Onitsha area, the whole of 5 states in the east are put into darkness. But over the time, with the activities of NIPP and the Transmission Company of Nigeria, they are able to build enough facilities that they can even backfeed states in the east from other sources, not relying on Benin alone. So these are the issues. As far as I'm concerned, 15 billion to even get us where we are supposed to be, I think it's a child place. Because if you Google, for instance, what we have as a nation capacity, they even at times they tell you it's 11,000 and whatever. 11,000 what is what US, for instance, with the commission from their system. That is what we are celebrating. We are aspiring to celebrate, not even celebrating, because we don't have 11,000 generation capacity. So we are aspiring that okay, we'll get there. These are the things that United States with the commission from their own system, and their system will still be robust and serve their people. So
wow. Thank you, Lawal. Thank you, Yakubu Lawal. Thank you. We'll come. We have. I wish you could go on and on and on, but we have come to the end of this section with energy reporting experts, PR consultants, and veteran journalist Yakubu Itoba Lawal. Thank you so much for sharing your thoughts with us. We hope down the years, we'll be able to call you again to get your points on this seemingly intractable problem or oily problem that we have found ourselves in. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Yakubu.
Thank you. I appreciate it. God bless.
Thank you. Thank you, Alaji.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Thank you.
We take a short break now. We take a short break now as we remember. We go to times, special times. Listen to this. We are on Let's Rewind.
Oh, yeah, it's gone off.
Yeah, Alex, you need to be watchful Even when we are not on air, we are on Facebook and YouTube live. Somebody sent comments to me. I went out a little bit now, and say you
Yeah.
were talking about not having slept with your wife for 1 week and not doing, and they had it at home.
Well, what I said, I've been misquoted. I said I've been away from home for a week.
Oh,
I
okay.
didn't say. I didn't
Just be
say.
mindful of what we say, because what he said to me was like, "You have not slept with your wife, or."
My God.
Oh, okay, okay. So I want us to discuss this. We are doing let's rewind. This is Shakomo by Remedies. Oh my. Well, this is Remedies. Sorry, this is Remedies singing Shakomo. Their monster hit uh, of 1999. Uh, well, actually, was first released in contentions are that it was released in 1997, because we are rewinding to 1997, and this is when you had uh, Eddie Brown, you had Tony Montana, and then Tony Tetula, they call him Tony Montana, and of course Idris Abdul Karim as a group. It was a fantastic period for them. Remember, this is Let's Rewind. We are winding back to chartbusters of yesteryears. Yeah. Oh, goddamn. Child.
You wonder what they're doing now. Are all of them still in music?
Well, I know Tetula is still in music. Abdul
Okay.
Karim, obviously, is most active now. It's into political music and activism. And Eddie, now he has been very quiet. I mean, I haven't heard much since his breakup with KSB. And, I don't know. I don't know where, but they are all alive and well. I
Hmm.
I strongly believe.
More old school music at oldnightchart.com.
Hmm. Oh dear.
No, you are not dreaming. Yeah, hearing the voices of the legendary sisters. Oh, reproduced in 1977. Orere Elejibo.
The Lijadu sisters.
I couldn't get it on the library, so I had to go and get it online.
Oh dear. The audio quality.
It's the legendary sisters Candy and
Yeah.
Taiwo. Born
I understand.
1942, 1948. Candy has left us. She died in
Yeah.
2019. They were identical twins. At one point, uh, the poster girls for Afro pop music. So they sang this
Yeah.
one. I was all over Europe, all over
Mm.
Africa. Orere Elejibo. We advise the parents, take care of your people, of your children, so they can break out for you real good. Next time, as you grow older. Orere Elejibo. Well, I think we've had enough of analog music. Let's go to the current. What do you call it? Let's go to the next line. The next song is an interesting one. Uh, this was a national anthem in 1997. Listen to it. Then go the pose. Bye, Baba Fayo.
Oh dear. He had a very strange style of music.
Yeah,
It was out of the ordinary.
yeah. And he just peaked and then just went off the radar.
Mm. I read somewhere him accusing David O of something. I
Is
don't know
that
what it
so?
was. Really, yeah.
When this song was hailing, there's a dancing style called Galala that was popularized by Daddy Shoki, Daddy Fresh, and Baba Frayo.
Mm. I think all of them belong to a genre. They have a peculiar way of uh,
Yeah, they were all born and bred
singing.
in Ajekule. They
Okay,
call it
so
jungle.
maybe that's the root of that strange genre that they produced and made
Yeah,
popular on the scene.
I think he had issues. Uh, this family life. I think it was lamenting sometime in 2017 that would have had a better career if he had married someone within the business or a celebrity. You know that
Mm.
it would have peaked much more and lasted longer.
Uh,
So you can read between the lines. It hasn't been posing well for Baba Frayo.
It hasn't been posing well. Oh dear.
Okay, well, we're about to leave you in the hands of Dengue Pose. Esife, are you ready for us? We're about to say our buys. It's so fast. Time.
No.
Yes.
Goodbye to everybody and enjoy your coming week.
Very short and sharp. And to the what's it called? It's the best posing today, so it's posing for us. Okay, Alex, say your buys.
Yeah, ladies and gentlemen, thanks for hanging out with us. Look forward to having you again next week and having a better, even better show by the grace of God.
Thank you, Alex. That was Alex Ogundarebe saying his bye. And I want to say, as we often say, be genuinely nice to people around you every day and do good as best as you can afford it. Stay blessed and have a wonderful weekend. Okay, Alex. Thanks.
All right, sir.